I'm diving into the reasons why your new hires are quitting so fast. High turnover rates among new hires are a huge concern for employers and the workforce as a whole. It's a costly issue, both in terms of time and resources, and it's one of the most exhausting and frustrating aspects of your manager's jobs, having to constantly train new people. Whenever one of our clients tells us they're experiencing this, I always ask the same questions. What are you telling them about the job during the interview? What are you doing during the onboarding process to make them feel excited and welcome? And what are you doing in the first few weeks of training to check in with them? So let's start with the interview process, the first step. If you are not conducting behavioral interviews, that's your first miss. It's very easy for candidates to look at your job post or job description and tell you they can do the job. Maybe they even believe they can. It's a very different process when you ask them how they have performed those job functions in the past. So instead of saying, this job requires that you work independently to meet tight deadlines, can you do that? You should ask them to describe a time in their career when they have had an impossible deadline that they did not believe was realistic. How did they manage that? Did they meet the deadline? How did they accomplish meeting the deadline? If they missed the deadline, how did they communicate that to the stakeholders? What did they put into place to confirm that wouldn't happen again? And I would even go further if you have a high stress position, one that has really high turnover due to burnout. I would argue that you should conduct a stress interview. For example, let's say the role you're filling is in customer service and this person is going to deal with really rude, very angry customers on a regular basis. You really need to dig into this to confirm the person can handle this. Not many people can. I think this means giving them actual scenarios of what your employees have dealt with. So for example, I would tell them, okay, let me give you an example. You're on a call with an irate customer who has just been told they don't qualify for our product due to their credit. They tell you that you're garbage and that they wish something bad would happen to you. I'm keeping this very PG, but we all know the hateful things and the horrible things that angry customers can say. I would give that to them. And then I would ask, how would you respond to that? And they might still say, oh, it's fine. I don't let that stuff bother me. So I would dig even further. Okay, if you got 3 calls like that in a row, how would you manage your emotions? How would you manage your stress levels? I would really try to understand, can they handle this? And next, I would always do a realistic job preview. This is where you tell the candidate the good, the bad, and the ugly about the job. Definitely share the perks and all the amazing things that they will enjoy, but also share the annoyances that they may experience, and most importantly, share the worst aspects of the job. This is so important because too often hiring managers sugarcoat this job because they are so desperate to get someone in there to fill it. But if you get the candidate in and they had no idea about the bad stuff, there's a much higher chance they will bail. Better to get that out in the open from the beginning so that expectations are realistic. Now, once you have the best candidate chosen for hire, the next opportunity to improve retention is during the onboarding process. New hires often feel like they're being thrown into the deep end without a lifeline, and they're expected to learn the ropes quickly and make an immediate impact, which can be overwhelming. According to a Gallup survey, 88% of organizations don't onboard well, which can lead to new hires feeling uncertain about their roles and responsibilities. And unclear job expectations are another significant factor. When new hires don't understand what's expected of them, they're more likely to become frustrated and leave. Poor management practices also contribute to this issue. Managers who are too busy or not trained to support new hires can inadvertently drive them away. The statistics are staggering. A study by Glassdoor found that the average cost of hiring a new employee is around $4,000, which is for really entry-level employees. It's much higher for higher level. And it can take up to 6 months or longer for a new hire to become fully productive. And this highlights the importance of getting it right from the start. So, what can employers do to prevent this trend? For starters, they can focus on creating a supportive and inclusive workplace culture. And this means providing new hires with the resources and guidance they need to succeed, as well as regular check ins and feedback. And then the final stage of this initial retention building strategy is actually during the training period. It's so important to consistently and frequently check in with your new hire. Are they understanding the key concepts of the role? Are they retaining important information? Does this seem like a good fit for them and for you? And is there something you need to spend a bit more time on? Are they bored and need to be challenged? Training managers need to discuss, adjust, and adapt their training strategy according to this feedback. New hire retention is so critical to your company's success. Spending time getting this down and creating a repeatable process will pay dividends, not only financially, but to your own sanity and job satisfaction levels.